I am Dheeraj Singh, working as an assistant professor in ABS Engineering College. So, welcome to the new lecture of lecture series on network analysis and synthesis, and today we are going to start our new topic, that is Fourier series, in which we will discuss about what is trigonometric Fourier series and what is exponential Fourier series, and all the aspects of Fourier series where we can apply Fourier series, all the applications we will study today. So, these are the contents that we are going to start, that we are going to discuss today. First of all, there will be an introduction to Fourier series. We will see where we can apply Fourier series and what is Fourier series. Then we will discuss what is the importance of Fourier series, how a circuit can be analyzed with the help of Fourier series. Then there are some conditions, only then the Fourier series can exist. So, we will study on those points, what are the conditions for existence of Fourier series. Then we will do a small illustration of trigonometric Fourier series, how a signal can be represented in terms of trigonometric Fourier series. Then we will study frequency spectrum, what is frequency spectrum, how it is useful for us, that we will see. Then we will find out the trigonometric Fourier series for a half wave sinusoid. For a half wave sinusoid, what are the Fourier series coefficients, that we will see. Then after that we will see exponential Fourier series and what is the relation between exponential Fourier series and trigonometric Fourier series. Also we will find out the exponential Fourier series of a rectangular wave. So, we will start now. First of all, introduction to Fourier series. So, Fourier series is representation of any arbitrary periodic function by an infinite series of sinusoids, which are harmonically related frequencies, are known as frequency is known as Fourier series. So, any periodic function can be represented in terms of sinusoids and its harmonics. For example, if I have sin t, it can be, for example, if we have any periodic function, it can be break into a series of sinusoids. So, this is our Fourier series. Any periodic function can be represented by a series of sine and cosine functions, that is Fourier series. So, for example, here we have a periodic function, we have applied a periodic function here. So, that periodic function can be break into a DC component, then we can have cos omega t, which is a cosine function, then we can have cos 2 omega t. The whole periodic function has been break into a cosine and sine signals. This is what Fourier series does. It breaks or it represent a periodic function into cosine and sine. This is our Fourier series, and with the help of superposition we can find out the total response to a linear circuit by application of each sinusoid. So, we have different types of Fourier series. First of all, we have trigonometric Fourier series, then we have exponential Fourier series. We can represent our periodic function in terms of trigonometric Fourier series, we can represent our periodic function in terms of exponential Fourier series, and then we have cosine Fourier series. So, we will discuss these two, that is trigonometric Fourier series and exponential Fourier series in this lecture. So, this is a brief about what is the importance of Fourier series. As I have said that Fourier series, with the help of Fourier series we can represent any periodic function in terms of sinusoids. So, point is, why we are representing in terms of sinusoids, why we are representing any periodic function in terms of sinusoids. So, the answer is, it is always easy to generate sinusoidal signals in the lab. So, we can easily generate sinusoidal signals. So, we can easily design according to sinusoidal signals, we can easily analyze with the help of sinusoidal signals. This is one of the advantage of representing any periodic function in terms of sinusoids. Then second point is, as we all know that most of the systems are LTI systems, that is linear and time invariant systems. So, as they are LTI system, linear and time invariant system. So, for a LTI system, if I will provide an input to LTI system a sinusoid, the output of LTI system will also be a sinusoid, but with different magnitude and phase angle. अगर मैं किसी LTI सिस्टम को इनपुट को साइनोसॉइडल फंक्शन देता हूं तो उसका आउटपुट भी साइनोसॉइडल फंक्शन ही होता है विद डिफरेंट मैग्नीट्यूड एंड फेज, बस उसका मैग्नीट्यूड और फेज चेंज होगा. सो मैग्नीट्यूड और फेज जो चेंज होगा दैट विल डिपेंड ऑन द सिस्टम प्रॉपर्टीज, that will depend on system properties. So, depending upon the system properties, its magnitude and phase will get changed, and so we just need to analyze only sinusoidal signals, whether it is input, whether it is output. So, we can design easily with the help of representation of sinusoidal signals. Also, one of the important aspect of Fourier series is frequency spectrum. So, with the help of frequency spectrum, we can find out how a signal is looking in frequency domain, how each frequency have a different magnitude. We can see with the help of frequency spectrum. Also, we have seen that Fourier series has various application in mathematics, in science and engineering, and mostly in the engineering field it is used in communication and signal processing, because we have to deal with the signals and we know that what we have to deal with the periodic signals, and periodic signals can be represented with the help of Fourier series very easily. So, it has an application in communication and signal processing. So, for Fourier series to exist, there must be some conditions. If Fourier series to exist, the function x t must be single valued function. It must not attain many values within a period. So, this is the condition. Then function x t only had finite number of maxima and minima, only a finite number of maxima and minima is possible in a period. It cannot have infinite number of maxima and minima. Then it must have finite number of discontinuities, only finite number of discontinuities are permissible for Fourier series to exist in a period. Then the last is absolutely integrable over one period. It must be absolutely integrable over one period, means its area in a period must be finite. Its area in a period must be finite, it must not be infinite. This is our conditions for existence of Fourier series. If the function will not satisfy these conditions, as these conditions are also known as Dirichlet's condition, then Fourier series will not exist for the function. So, first of all we will study trigonometric Fourier series. So, according to trigonometric Fourier series, any periodic function, suppose if I have any periodic function x of t. So, x of t, which is any periodic function, can be represented in terms of sine and cosine as a naught plus cos n omega t plus b n sin of n omega t. So, according to trigonometric Fourier series, any periodic function, suppose x t is periodic function, can be represented like this in terms of sine signal, in terms of cosine signal, and we have a term a naught. That a naught is known as DC component in the signal. This is termed as DC component. What is the DC component in the signal? That will be given by a naught, and these are known as AC component of the signal. So, these values a n and b n will give you what are the AC components in the signal, where a naught, a n and b n are known as trigonometric Fourier series coefficient, where a naught, a n, b n are known as trigonometric Fourier series coefficient, where a naught can be calculated mathematically as 1 by t, where t is the period of the signal, x of t dt, and a n is 2 by t 0 to t x of t cos of n omega t dt, where b n can be calculated mathematically as 2 by t 0 to t x of t sin of n omega t dt. So, this is how we can calculate the values of a naught, a n and b n for a function x of t, where a naught, a n and b n are Fourier trigonometric Fourier series coefficient and t is capital T is time period of the signal. So, this is how we represent any function in terms of trigonometric Fourier series. Now, frequency spectrum that we have said, frequency spectrum is a way of representing a signal components as a function of frequency. It means, if I have a signal in time domain which is shown here, it will have some frequency. So, each frequency components are represented with the help of with the value of n. For example, if n equals to 0, it means DC value, this will represent the magnitude of the DC component. This function will have a DC component of 100 by pi. N equals to 1, it means it will have a value of 1 into omega. So, 1 into omega will have a component of 50. Then 2, it means 2 into omega, where omega will be the frequency of the signal represented as x t. 3 into omega, it will have a magnitude of 0. This is how we can represent with the help of frequency spectrum at each frequency what will be the magnitude. If, for example, if omega is 50, at 50 hertz it will have a magnitude of 50, it will have a DC component magnitude of 100 by pi. 2 into omega, it means 2 into 50, 100 hertz, 100 hertz will have a magnitude of minus 200 by 3 pi. This is how we can represent frequency spectrum, in which each frequency component, what will be the magnitude of each frequency component we can represent. And you can also see that these are discrete in nature. There is no value between 2 omega to 3 omega, there is no value between 3 omega to 4 omega, it will have only discrete values. So, this is our frequency spectrum. So, our analysis and design, we can analyze and design our system based upon the frequency spectrum. Then there is an example that is trigonometric Fourier series of half wave sinusoid. Suppose this is a signal, as you can see that this signal is periodic and period of this signal will be 0 to 2 pi. This will be the time period of the signal, because it is repeating itself after every 2 pi interval. So, its period will be 2 pi. So, x of t can be represented as 100, because it is achieving a value of 100 into sine of omega t. We can see this is a sinusoidal signal. So, it will be 100 into sine omega t, where omega can be represented as 2 pi by t. So, 100 into sine into 2 pi by t into small t. So, we can represent our signal as 100 into sine t, because 2 pi by t, t is also 2 pi time period is 2 pi. So, 100 sin t for t 0 to pi, it means in this period it is defined as 100 sin t, and pi to 2 pi it is not having any value. So, we will represent it with the 0 for 0 to it will be pi to 2 pi, it will be pi to 2 pi, it will be represented with the 0. So, now we will calculate trigonometric Fourier series coefficient. So, it will be a naught will be equal to 1 by t 0 to t x of t dt that we have studied. So, 1 upon 2 pi, time period is 2 pi, then 0 to t. So, 0 to pi it has a value of 100 sin t dt, but pi to 2 pi it do not have any value. So, pi to 2 pi it will be 0 into sin of t dt. So, we do not have any value for pi to 2 pi. So, no need to calculate this integral from pi to 2 pi. So, we will get it as 1 upon 2 pi or 100 upon 2 pi as sinusoidal integration will be minus cos of t, where it will be from 0 to pi. So, we will obtain it as minus 50 by pi, and minus cos of pi, minus cos pi will be equal to minus 1, sorry, cos pi will be equal to minus 1, minus sign we have taken outside. So, cos pi is minus 1 minus cos 0, cos 0 is 1. So, minus 1 we got the value of a naught as 100 by pi. So, this is DC component of the signal. This signal will have a DC component of 100 by pi. Now, we will calculate a n and b n. So, a n is 2 by t 0 to t x of t cos n omega t dt. So, cos of n omega t, omega is 2 pi by t which is equal to 1. So, cos of n t x of t equals to cos of n t dt. Now, time period is 2 pi, again because signal is defined from 0 to pi only. So, we are evaluating integral from 0 to pi only, no need to calculate from pi to 2 pi because signal value is 0 from pi to 2 pi. So, 100 into sin t which is our signal x t and cos of n t dt. So, we will obtain it as 50 by pi. Just to make a formula of sin a plus b and sin a minus v, we have converted into this 2 sin a cos b. So, 2 sin a cos b can be represented as sin of 1 plus n into t plus sin of 1 minus n into t dt. So, on further evaluating it, sin of 1 plus n into t will have a integration of minus cos of 1 plus n into t divided by 1 plus n, sin of 1 minus n into t, because we have plus sign, that plus sign has been changed to minus sign. So, it will be cos of 1 minus n into t divided by 1 minus n from 0 to pi. Now, cos of because the limits are from 0 to pi, cos of 1 plus n into pi it can be written as minus 1 into n plus 1, then cos 0 will be equal to 1, then we have 1 plus n minus cos of 1 minus n into t. So, we will have minus 1 to the power n minus 1, then cos 0 is again 1 divided by n minus 1. So, for odd value of n, if we will have odd value of n, you can see that a n will be equal to minus 50 by pi minus 1 to the power n plus 1. If n is odd, n plus 1 will be even. So, minus 1 to the power even will be 1, it will be 1, then it will be minus 1, so it will become 0, and similarly minus 1 to the power n minus 1, it will also become 1 minus 1. So, for odd n we will get a n as 0, for odd value of n we will get a n as 0, and for even n we will get a n as minus 1 to the power n. For even n, for example n equals to 2, minus 1 to the power 3, it will be minus 1, minus 1, again it will be minus 1. For even n we will get as minus 200 by pi n square minus 1. Now, we will in the similar way we will obtain b n. B n will be equal to 2 by t 0 to t x of t sin n omega t, again period is 2 pi, 0 to pi 100 sin t into sin n t, again we have created a formula of 2 sin a sin b. So, it will be cos of n minus 1 into t minus cos of n plus 1 into t from the formula of 2 sin a sin b. It will become 50 by pi after integration sin of n minus 1 into t into divide by n minus 1 minus sin of n plus 1 into t divide by n plus 1. So, when we will obtain this value its value will be 0 for all values except n equals to 1. So, for n equals to 1 we will calculate b 1 and we will obtain b 1 as 100 by 2. So, b 1 can be calculated as 2 by t 0 to t x of t into sin of omega is 1 n is 1 sin t dt. We can calculate from here b 1 and we will get the b 1 as 50. Similarly, trigonometric Fourier series is, so trigonometric Fourier series can be represented as a naught, then b 1 sin t, only b 1 have some values, all values of b n are 0, then n equals to 1 to n infinity a n cos n t. So, it will come out 100 by pi which is a naught plus 50 sin t, b 1 value is 50, because a n is existing for even values only, for even values we have a n. So, we will get it as even to infinity 200 by pi cos n t. When we will expand this, we will get 100 by pi 1 plus pi by 2 sin t minus 2 by 3 cos 2 t, and the same can be represented with the help of this frequency spectrum. So, one can see that at 0 first of all we have 100 by pi. So, it is represented as 100 by pi DC component is represented by n equals to 0. Then we have 100 by pi into pi by 2. So, it is obtained as 100 by pi into pi by 2 which comes out to be 50, which is represented by the this term which is at n equals to 1. So, n equals to 1 we have obtained this. In the similar manner 100 by pi into 2 by 3 into minus 2 by 3. So, it will be 100 by pi into minus 2 by 3, we will obtain as minus 200 by 3 pi. Similarly, we can find out for all values of n what will be the magnitude. So, this is the frequency spectrum of the half wave sinusoid signal that we have seen. So, next we have studied trigonometric Fourier series, next is exponential Fourier series. Exponential Fourier series is another way of representing any periodic function in terms of exponential function. So, x of t can be written as, for exponential Fourier series, summation n equals to minus infinity to infinity C n e to the power j n omega t. This is how we can represent exponential Fourier series, where C n is known as exponential Fourier series coefficient, Fourier series coefficient, and C n can be calculated as 1 by t 0 to t x of t e to the power minus j n omega t dt. So, like in trigonometric Fourier series we need to calculate 3 coefficient a naught, a n and b n. Just to simplify this, in exponential Fourier series we need to calculate only one Fourier series coefficient, that is C n. So, C n is 1 upon t 0 to t x of t e to the power minus j n omega t dt. That all we need to calculate for representation of any periodic function in terms of exponential function. Now, we will see what is the relation between exponential and trigonometric Fourier series. In trigonometric Fourier series, we have a naught, a n and b n, these are trigonometric Fourier series coefficient. Then we have c n, which is exponential Fourier series coefficient. So, c n, which is exponential Fourier series coefficient, can be represented as a n minus j into b n by 2. So, exponential Fourier series coefficient can be represented as c n equals to a n minus j into b n by 2, or a n can be written in terms of exponential Fourier series coefficient as c n of n, which is exponential Fourier series coefficient, plus c of minus n. A n can be written as c of n plus c of minus n. This is how we can convert from trigonometric to exponential and exponential to trigonometric Fourier series coefficient. And minus j into b n can be written as c of n minus c of minus n. This is the representation of, this is how we can calculate the trigonometric Fourier series coefficient b of n. So, where c n, if we will talk about c n, can be written as a n square plus b n square by 2, and angle of c n, phase of c n can be written as minus tan inverse b n divided by a n. This is how we can we can develop a relation between exponential and trigonometric Fourier series. C n equals to a n minus j into b n by 2, and a n can be find out from c n as c n plus of c of minus n, then minus j into b n will be equal to c n minus c of minus n. So, next we are going to do one example on how exponential Fourier series can be find out for a rectangular wave. This is a rectangular wave. So, we can define it as for the value of a for 0 to pi, for 0 to pi it has a value of a, and from pi to 2 pi it has a value of minus a from pi to 2 pi. So, it can be clearly seen that time period of this signal is 2 pi, time period of this signal is 2 pi. So, fundamental frequency will be 2 pi by t, which will be 2 pi by 2 pi. So, we can calculate C n as 1 upon t 0 to t x of t e to the power minus j n omega t dt. This is how we can calculate C n. So, 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi x of t e to the power minus j n into t, because omega we have calculated as 1. Then we have divided our 0 to 2 pi period into 0 to pi a e to the power minus j n t dt, plus में pi to 2 pi its value is minus a. So, minus a into e to the power minus j n t dt. So, again we have done our integration 0 to pi e to the power minus j n t by minus j n minus e to the power minus j n t by minus j n, and the limit is pi to 2 pi. Now, on further solving it, we have obtained it as minus j n into 2 pi minus e to the power minus j n into pi minus e to the power minus j n into pi minus e to the power minus j n into 0. So, we 1 which is obtained from minus j n into 2 pi, its value is 1, then e to the power minus j n pi is minus 1 to the power n. Similarly, minus 1 to the power n e to the power minus j n pi into e to the power 0 is 1. So, we have calculated C n as minus j into 2 a by n pi for odd value of n, and it will be 0 for even value of n, because 1 minus for even n, for example n equals to 2. So, it will be 1. So, it will be n equals to 2. So, we will get it as n equals to 0 even. So, this is how we have obtained our value of C n, and this is the frequency spectrum. For example, 0, if we will calculate 0, n equals to 0, we will have minus j into 2 a by n pi and its magnitude will be 2a by n pi, और 0 के लिए it will be 0, for n equals to 1 it will be 2a by pi, n equals to 2 because for even it has a value of 0. So, all the even values will be 0, 2 will be 0, 4 will be 0, similarly 6, and odd values you will get it as 2a by 3 pi, 2a by 5 pi and 2a by pi, 2a by 3 pi. This is how we obtain frequency spectrum for exponential Fourier series. So, this is the referred book, and thank you very much.